The elegant charity gala at the Ritz-Carlton was in full swing, with Manhattan's elite mingling over champagne and caviar. Crystal chandeliers cast a warm glow over designer gowns and tailored tuxedos as the city's wealthiest gathered to support children's education. Victoria Pemberton, draped in diamonds and dragging her new Hermes bag, surveyed the room with practiced superiority. As the wife of a prominent real estate developer, she was accustomed to being treated with deference wherever she went. Near the silent auction table, she noticed a young black woman in an elegant but understated navy dress examining the items. The woman moved with quiet grace, occasionally jotting notes in a small leather notebook. "Excuse me," Victoria called out sharply, her voice cutting through the ambient chatter. "I don't think you belong here. This is a private event for donors only." The young woman, Maya, looked up with calm, intelligent eyes. "I'm sorry, I think there's been a misunderstanding." "No misunderstanding at all," Victoria interrupted, her voice rising. "I can spot someone who doesn't belong from a mile away. You're probably here to serve drinks or something. The staff entrance is that way." Maya remained composed despite the growing attention from nearby guests. "Ma'am, I'm actually a guest here, don't lie to me." Victoria's face flushed red. "I know every important person in this room, and you certainly aren't one of them." Before Maya could respond, Victoria's hand flew across her face with a sharp crack that echoed through the suddenly silent ballroom. Gasps rippled through the crowd as phones discreetly emerged to capture the shocking scene. Maya touched her cheek, her dignity intact despite the humiliation. "That was completely unnecessary," she said quietly. "Security!" Victoria shrieked. "Remove this woman immediately." But instead of security approaching Maya, a distinguished older gentleman in an impeccable tuxedo rushed to her side. "Maya, darling, are you all right?" he asked, his voice filled with concern and barely contained fury. Victoria's triumphant expression began to falter as she noticed the crowd's reaction. People weren't looking at Maya with suspicion, they were looking at Victoria with horror and recognition dawning in their eyes. "Richard," Maya said softly to the man beside her, "it's fine." "Really?" Richard Chen, whose face was regularly featured in Forbes and the Wall Street Journal, turned to face Victoria with ice-cold eyes. "Do you know who you just assaulted?" Victoria's mouth opened and closed like a fish. She recognized him now, Richard Chen, CEO of Chen Industries, one of the most powerful tech companies in the world, worth over $15 billion. "This is my wife, Maya Chen," Richard continued, his voice deadly quiet. Dr. Maya Chen, who holds 3 PhDs, runs the Chen Foundation that has donated over $500 million to education, and happens to be the reason this charity gala exists. The color drained from Victoria's face as the pieces fell into place. The woman she had just publicly humiliated wasn't just wealthy, she was one of the most influential philanthropists in the country. She was examining the auction items because she and her foundation donated half of them, Richard continued, addressing the now rapt audience. "Including the $50,000 scholarship package you were just bidding on, Victoria." Maya placed a gentle hand on her husband's arm. "Richard, please. Let's not make this worse." But the damage was done. Phones had captured everything, and Victoria could already imagine the headlines: "Racist socialite assaults billionaire philanthropist at charity gala." I didn't know." Victoria stammered. "You didn't know because you assumed," Maya said with quiet dignity. "You saw my skin color and made a judgment about who I am and what I deserve. That says everything about you and nothing about me." The gala's organizer, Patricia Walsh, approached nervously. "Mrs. Pemberton, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. This behavior is absolutely unacceptable." As security finally did approach, this time for Victoria, she realized the full magnitude of her mistake. Her husband's real estate deals often depended on city contracts, many of which were influenced by the Chen Foundation's community development projects. "Please," Victoria whispered, "I made a mistake." "I'm sorry." Maya studied her for a long moment. I accept your apology, Mrs. Pemberton. But this isn't really about me. This is about how you treat people you think have less power than you. That needs to change. As Victoria was escorted out, her social media was already exploding with videos of the incident. By morning, #CharityGalaslap was trending nationwide. Richard squeezed his wife's hand. You handled that with more grace than she deserved. Maya smiled softly. Dignity is something no one can take from you, no matter how hard they try. The gala continued, but the real impact was just beginning. Victoria's public shaming became a nationwide conversation about prejudice and assumptions. Her husband's business suffered, her social circle evaporated, and she found herself genuinely forced to confront her own biases for the first time. Maya, meanwhile, used the incident's publicity to launch a new initiative addressing unconscious bias in professional and social settings. True to her character, she turned a moment of humiliation into an opportunity to create positive change. Sometimes the most powerful response to hatred is not anger, but grace, and the confidence that comes from knowing exactly who you are.